You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for your support of The Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu.
Live uncommon.
Today we head to Germany, to Wittenberg, more precisely. Our guest today, the Reverend Dr. Wilhelm Weber. He's director of the Old Latin School, the International Lutheran Center at the Old Latin School in Wittenberg, Germany. Dr. Weber, thanks for joining us on The Coffee Hour today.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, Andy and Sarah.
Share with us why we have an International Lutheran Center in the Old Latin School in Wittenberg.
Yeah, we just celebrated an anniversary again, 2015. The center was opened, so we're into our 7th year now. A really wonderful place for confessional Lutherans from all over the world, visiting center right where Luther started the Reformation, just next to St. Mary's, in the middle of old Wittenberg town. So that's where we have got rooms to stay overnight, or just to come in for a casual visit, or come in for the divine service on Sundays, which we have in English and in German. So you are most welcome here at all times. We have an open door policy, and people actually love to walk in and just see what it's about.
So what happens at the Old Latin School every week? Have things opened up a bit? I know the last time we talked, there was still some restrictions that were happening. What have you been able to do every week at the Old Latin School?
Yeah, Sarah, it was pretty dead. It was the river tours had stopped, and the buses were no longer traveling. And so we were just Wittenbergers looking outside and seeing if some lonely figure would walk down the street and to visit us. But now it's picking up. Tourists are coming in. Americans are coming in, back in again as well. We have got refugees from the Ukraine coming in at 1,000 plus or in this area, settled down, trying to find work, going to school, etc., etc. And the Old Latin School, of course, benefits from that. But it's also the locals. You know, I've got a lady just living next door. She's lived here all her life since being 5 years old. She fled the war, the Second World War, and she stays here at the church plaza, practically, and just across the Old Latin School. And she's seen it a number of times. She said, well, at first she was skeptical, but when she saw those 4 friendly Americans who had just bought the Old Latin School, she was just over the moon. And she's walking in now several times because I have music playing quite loud. And she walks in and says, this is lovely music. I've never been here. So people like that walk in, and then they sort of catch up and say, wow, this really has become a wonderful place. So we have got visitors like that every now and again as well.
What is available to visitors, and what have you been able to make updates to in the 7 years that you've been open?
Yeah, see, the first part of that time was with Kristin Lang. She did a marvelous job. The big 500 anniversary was in. They had really put it on the map. Wittenbergers still ask me, where's that friendly lady who was always here? You know, and now they just meet an old grumpy old man, you know. And so that's a big change. But then came Corona, which also didn't do much to promote this place. But we've had several spectacular developments. I think the most important is that the Luther Academy from Riga, with Dr. Kortreit and Dr. Bobaro, they have taken this up as one of their main seats for on-site training. So we've got room for 25 students to come in here. So that is very, very helpful. Professor Masaki from Fort Wayne comes here with African leaders to do on-site training right here at the Reformation sites. And of course, pastors and small groups come here as well. Confirmation groups come in, they call And then they set up an appointment either for a weekend or for a week or so. And they say, how is there a place? Is there a time? Professors come in. Professor Just has done just a sabbatical year of over a month. Professor Robert Kolb from St. Louis is coming now in June, July. So we've got people moving in here and really making it a wonderful place. They're all excited, of course, because the work here is just so convenient. You've got good libraries, you've got the sites here, you've got time to work, not many disturbances, and then, of course, ideal accommodations. It's just, and very ideally situated transport-wise. You can reach anywhere by train or by car, of course. And, or if you're like me, you go by bicycle.
Me too, yes.
There you go. I don't go as fast as you, Sarah. I go slowly.
That's okay. What kinds of updates have you been able to make to the facilities lately?
Yeah, thanks for asking. We've had, because of the classes we give here, and because we have this tradition of Lutheran theology, we are really book focused too. So we've got extra shelving down in the foyer. That's a real nice addition. We've got nice tables there as well inside the foyer, because on Thursdays we do a table talk sort of thing, a Stammtisch, which is where people come and socialize. It's mainly local tour guides who want to polish up their English, but then also English people like Fulbright exchange students who want to catch up with people from here and want to talk a bit of English. They are teachers, partly. They are at various schools or kindergarten and creche, etc. And so we've got a mixed bunch. And then, of course, we have got the Professor Just and his wife, Linda. They were part of that. Jim Krikova from Prague and his wife were there as well. She really made a wonderful impact with giving us an English lesson for an evening. Our people were absolutely excited about the way she helped them along to improve their English. So it's just a meeting place. And then we've also got a new smart board, which also is, of course, to facilitate our meetings when people cannot be here. So it just becomes more and more professional and very convenient and helpful for the people who are here. Yeah.
How has the war in the Ukraine impacted life in Wittenberg and your neighbors?
Yeah, you know, we live in Germany. We say Insel der Seligen, the island of the blessed one, sort of thing. We don't notice very much, but of course we're connected also with news. It's that those 1,000 Ukrainians coming in here, of course, impact as well. We can talk to the people who are now also sharing the old Latin school. We are accommodating with the help of sponsors from Missouri. We are accommodating a pastor's family and a teacher's. He's an American. She's from Kiev, and they have fled the war, and they are staying here, trying, of course, to go back, but waiting till that it is safe. Natalia, who was there over the weekend, she actually saw for herself. She said, well, there were about 3 cars leaving Kiev and thousands literally returning. So that's something which I did not know. And it impacts, of course, our inside, because we are thinking they are all leaving. But it seems as if people are very eager to return. The impact on us is also mainly political. Germany is slowly but surely also being drawn in with the various sanctions, which are going to impact, perhaps not this summer, but in winter again. We hear that the gas things have been reduced, the gas going via the Ukraine today. So things like that, actually, it plays an important role in the psyche of our people here, because they think, what's the impact still going to be? We hope that we can offer a safe accommodation, that we can help with actual teaching. My wife at her school has got a number of Ukrainian kids trying to cope with the German, etc. Figuring in they work very well in English, but of course not all the staff is fluent in English. So there's a lot of challenges coming this way, and we are working how to prepare it. On Sunday, the pastor's family is coming in here, and he's going to coordinate the refugees and help them to settle in, etc., etc. So we hope that we can make a positive impact in that way as well.
Yeah, what a blessing that you're able to do all of that work for the people who need it right now. How can families who are thinking of traveling to Wittenberg make a trip out of the Old Latin School?
There's so much to do that you can connect on our internet site. Of course, you can phone, you can write me an email. And then I think an important thing is just to make enough time. Don't just think you can do Wittenberg in 2 hours. It just is too little. You need a bit of time just to see the 4 World Heritage sites. That takes about 2 days in the best of times. And if you've got more time, well, you can reach out into the neighborhood, into the neighboring towns like Gräfenhainichen, where Paul Gerhardt was, or up in Treuenbrietzen, where Martin Chemnitz was. So, and that's not even mentioning Torgau and all the other Luther sites like Leipzig, Erfurt, and what have you. So just bring along enough time, and then you can really have a good time here watching it.
Very good. Where can we find the information about the International Lutheran Center at the Old Latin School and opportunities to visit?
Google oldlatinschool.org. So Old Latin School, there's our website. That's the best place to start.
Our guest today, the Reverend Dr. Wilhelm Weber, director of the International Lutheran Center at the Old Latin School in Wittenberg, Germany. Dr. Weber, thank you so much for being our guest on the Coffee Hour today.
It's a pleasure indeed, Sarah.
You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.